It all began on a quiet afternoon. I was sitting at my computer, unwinding after a long week at the police academy, when I noticed my stepmom had forgotten to log out of her Reddit account. I wasn't snooping, not intentionally, but as soon as I opened the browser, her account was still active, and one of her recent posts caught my eye. Out of curiosity, I clicked. I wish I hadn't. Her post was in a random subreddit, and it was about me. She didn't name me directly, of course, but there was no mistaking who she was referring to. She described my appearance in cruel, demeaning terms. She claimed I was disrespectful, said I called her names, complete lies. Then, as if that weren't enough, she flat out said she hated me. That wasn't all. She had multiple posts and comments, some about how relieved she felt when my siblings weren't home, others gleefully counting down the years until we all turned 18 and left the house. She openly discussed how she didn't see us as family. "It's okay not to love your stepchildren," she wrote. "They're not real family anyway." She attacked anyone in the comments who dared to suggest kindness toward us. It got worse. She complained about having to learn sign language for my youngest sister, who is deaf. She called it a waste of time and stupid. That broke me. All this time, my sister had given her the benefit of the doubt, excusing her lack of progress as just difficulty learning. But now I saw the truth. She never really tried. She never wanted to communicate with her. Then I saw the worst post of all. She said she'd rather unalive herself than pretend to care about us. I felt like throwing up. I quietly logged out of her Reddit account, but not before I saved the posts, the comments, the screenshots, everything. Some of them dated back years. She had been harboring this hatred for so long, wearing a mask of politeness all the while. I thought about all the times I offered to help her babysitting my half-brother so she and my dad could go out. Every time, she'd refuse. Now I knew why, and yet she still wrote online that I never helped. She painted me as lazy, entitled, a parasite in her home. But the truth? I live mostly at the academy, only returning home on weekends. I cook for myself, do my own laundry, even help my dad with the bills. And it was my father who asked me to move back in so I'd have a shorter commute on weekends. Still, she told her online echo chamber that I was too old to live at home, and that my dad should choose his real family, her and their son, and make me leave. She even twisted my relationship with my dad, saying it was inappropriate for me to hug him tightly, as if showing affection to my own father was something shameful. I needed space, so I lied to my dad, telling him I'd be staying at a friend's after leaving the academy that weekend. Instead, I went to my mum's house. I showed her everything, translated the posts and comments for her since Reddit isn't that widely used here. My mum, who has always kept a civil relationship with my stepmom, was furious. She couldn't believe the things my stepmom had written, not just about me and my sister, but about her too. My stepmom had lied about my mum being difficult, stirring up hate among strangers. Next, we told my brother. He was angry too, though not surprised. He said he'd noticed my stepmom ignoring our sister, sometimes pretending she didn't even see or hear her. He admitted it always seemed strange that she hadn't learnt sign language, despite living with us for years. Even my dad had offered to pay for her lessons, and she refused. Strangely, she allowed our sister to babysit our half-brother, but not me or my brother. None of us could make sense of that. Finally, we told my sister. That was the hardest. She cried when she saw the comments, especially the ones about me. Somehow, my stepmom's hatred of me hurt her just as much as the dismissive way she'd been treated. My sister had always believed the fault was hers, that her speech wasn't clear, that maybe my stepmom just didn't understand her. She had been blaming herself all this time, thinking my stepmom just struggled more than most to learn. But the truth, she never cared to learn. We decided to confront my father together, but before that, I went to the house and told my stepmom myself. She was stunned. I told her I had seen her Reddit account and was going to talk to my dad. Her first reaction? "You can't condemn me for what I write in my private online diary." I told her point blank. "This isn't a diary, it's a public forum." She didn't even try to delete it. And if someone else had found her account and exposed her lies, that could have ruined me. I could have been kicked out of the academy. When I mentioned that my mum and sister also knew, she locked herself in her room. When we finally sat down with my father, I showed him the evidence. Post after post, comment after comment. He was livid. He told us that she had never once voiced any of these feelings to him. No concerns, no issues. He confronted her, and she tried to twist everything, claimed it was all venting. But venting doesn't include lying or gleefully describing the joy of a teenager being hospitalized, just because you hate hearing her laugh. She tried to justify it, but my father wasn't having it. He told her he was done. He came with us to my mother's house, saying he didn't trust her anymore. He would return daily to see his son, but he wouldn't live with someone who could so thoroughly deceive him for so many years. Her cruelty wasn't just unkind, it was deeply poisonous. None of it went the way I hoped. I wanted her to apologize, to show some remorse, but she didn't. In her mind, she was justified. Being a stepmother was hard, and that, to her, excused every hateful word she wrote. But nothing justifies what she did to my sister. I wasn't even that close to her, but I liked her. I shared clothes with her. I offered to help, and to know she despised us this whole time, that's what hurts the most.